I just want to take a minute to talk to you about this little bench top clamp I made. And I've recently installed dog holes on the top of my bench, and I'd seen where a lot of people, I think it's been some of the magazines, the woodworking magazines, have talked about using a clamp, something like this one, and driving the pin out and taking the top off and then putting a toggle in here so this would twist back and forth. One of the problems I found with that is if you do that, this clamp tends to turn in a real strange direction when you put it down to the dog hole, because you're putting pressure on here, on this point, and pressure on here, and that tends to tilt the clamp backwards. But one of the things I did was I went ahead and knocked the pin out and then got myself a nut and a bolt. So there's my bolt, and I got myself a wing nut. There's my wing nut, so I can put the whole thing together and watch this thing not go on. There it goes. And what will happen then is I can take this bottom part of the clamp off, put this part through the dog hole, just stick my head, just lean over under the bench, put the bottom on and the nut on, and now when you screw this thing down, it will squeeze between these 2 points, and those are in a direct line. And that keeps this clamp from tending to tilt back and mess up your dog hole. I don't know why anybody's not discovered this yet, but it works really well. It goes in the holes easy. It's easy to assemble. It doesn't take much more effort than actually just trying to work this toggle to get it out. So I think this is probably a better method. So if you have the need for a clamp like this to use in one of your dog holes on your bench, don't go to the trouble of making a separate toggle bar here. And the toggle bar would be a piece of metal that sits like this, and then when you put it down through the hole, you turn it like that to hold it in the hole. Don't go to the trouble to make one of those. Just go ahead and drill this hole out big enough for a bolt, put it back on, and I had to do a little filing in there to get that to slide on and off easily. It was a little bit of a press fit, but I had to do just a little bit of filing, not much. And now I've got something that actually clamps a whole lot better and doesn't mess up my dog holes.